Bonafide Hustler here. Today, we're gonna go check out the new booth and we're gonna talk a little bit about it. What's going on, guys and gals? Chris the Bonafide Hustler coming to you live from the outside of a Goodwill bins. And yes, I'm actually gonna go into the bins first and see if I find anything cool, and I'll show it on this video. Then we're gonna go to the Antique Mall, which is like a couple miles from here, and I'll show you the new booth, and that's where the video is going to be. Talk a little bit about how it's doing, etc. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at the Bonafide Hustler, and you can get the free money making guide right here. It's the first link down below. They'll teach you some items that you can start looking for that are predominantly used, and you can flip it for more money. My girlfriend just pulled up, Thrifty Z's right there, and we're about to get into the bins. And I know this is not really Antique Mall related, but it's something I'm doing today. I may as well just put it on the vlog. So yeah, this is what we're doing right now. Okay, it was total madness in there. You can see from that real quick clip. I did buy some stuff. I spent $20, and this is what I found. As I put it in the car, I'm just gonna show it to you guys. Got this cool suede jacket. It's kind of like a vintage Suede Master jacket. Nothing super crazy. It does need a stitch down here. So this was, everything that I'm showing you was 20 bucks. This is like a size 42. It's gonna be real good. In the booth, this is probably gonna fetch like 50 bucks. Got a leather kind of like briefcase looking thing. Pretty cool, semi-vintage. In the booth, this will probably fetch about 30 to 40. A vintage hat, nothing crazy, subject matter not even that great. In the booth, this will probably fetch like 10 bucks. For myself, just a really weathered down Champion, tank top for myself. So resale is happiness. For myself, also a pair of like very loose, kind of like, I don't know, kind of almost like a thermal kind of thing, extremely loose, very comfortable. And yeah, resale is gonna be my internal happiness. An interesting kind of jacket, nothing super crazy. It's kind of corduroy, but it has these weird kind of toggle button looking things. In the booth, this is probably 40 to 50 bucks. In the summertime, I'll probably put this in the booth as a Notorious B.I.G. shirt. It's not vintage or anything like that, but it is pretty cool. It's kind of faded looking. So in the booth, probably 10 bucks. Probably the best find, Zero Halliburton medium-sized case. This is a Centurion Elite. In the booth, this is probably gonna fetch like 50 to 60 bucks. And it's pretty cool. And it has the code, not the keys. So pretty nice, very tattered up and weird, but it's the perfect kind of style for the booth. And that's what I found here at the Goodwill bins today. Now we're gonna go to the booth. Okay, we're at the Antique Mall, and this is in Round Rock, Texas. So from my house, this is about 10 minutes away, maybe 15 with toll roads and everything like that. But this is in Round Rock, which is a town that is north of Austin by about, 20 minutes or so. This Antique Mall was the closest Antique Mall besides the one I was just at. If you were following this channel, I was at the Austin Antique Mall for 12 years or so, maybe 14 years, and it did really well, especially towards the end. It was incredible. Now this booth, and that might be for another video. Well, I could talk about it a little bit right here. So that booth towards the end did extremely, extremely well. We're talking like every 2 weeks it was pumping out $2,000 paychecks, and like more than that sometimes. And so that was pretty cool, but it shut down. And it wasn't random or anything like that. I got a call on, it was like a week after I'd built this guide called Booths to Bucks. It's so ironic. I built this amazing guide, I put it out there, and then a week later, it's like my antique mall that I've been part of for all these years just decides to shut down because the landlord wants to use it for something else. So that thing was in business for over 40 years. And it really bummed out everybody at the Antique Mall, the general public. So when the general public found out that the actual Antique Mall was closing down, like the business just skyrocketed. It was insane for at least 2 to 3 months. It was crazy. And that's how much heads up I had to find another booth, or just to be done with the whole antique game, which I really didn't want to do. So then I started searching around, and then a lot of the dealers at that Antique Mall started to get booths here early. And so over a 2-month process, I put my name on the wait list here, and we got a really interesting opportunity that once the Antique Mall in Austin closed, I had one lined up like the very next day here. But it was a crappy booth. It was in the corner of the Antique Mall. It was an experimental booth for the Antique Mall, and it was the worst booth on earth. Like, we didn't make money with it at all. So now that brings us to 2 months ago. And 2 months ago, I made the decision. I was like, I don't want this crappy booth anymore. It's in the corner of the mall. It was terrible. Either I'm gonna shut down the business, or I asked the people in the Antique Mall, get me a better booth. I wanna be closer to the front. I don't care if I'm in a corner spot. I really want corner spot. Booths to Bucks would teach you that. But I got an aisle spot that was really awesome. And for the rent money every month, it was just a pretty awesome and big booth. And so I pulled the trigger on it 2 months ago, and my girlfriend and I, we don't split it, but she does pay some of the rent. And I want to show you that booth today here in this video, and we're going to be doing a drop off as well, but none of that's really super relevant. But I'll be doing a drop off. I'm going to get rid of the Zero Halliburton case now. I already have a tag made right here because it makes no sense to like bring it home just so I can clean it up and analyze it. It's not going to be a perfect case. It's got dents on it. It needs to be, you know, if all the stickers need to be taken off, it needs goo gone, it needs heat gun, it needs a lot of things, and that's just a lot of time. And I'm not going to invest that time in something that's only going to return me maybe $20 more. You know, it just doesn't make any sense to me. So yeah, we're here at the mall, and let's get into the booth and have a look at it. All right, so this is the vintage antique booth right now. We scrapped shirts because it's not summertime. We have a boot wall right here. Pretty neat. Heavy things go on the ground. Things from previous garage sale videos. We have light jackets and cool flannels and Southwestern stuff down to vests, leather jackets, things like that. Bags, I just put this down. I mean, there's a lot of cool things in here. We have a little hat section, lanterns. Got this right here. Dream catcher, that's really nice. This humongous mirror sold. Yeah. And by the way, we have everything at 50% off right now because we have to clear out some inventory because we just got a lot. But pretty neat stuff. Things from previous garage sale video right here. This cool lamp that my girlfriend found. Look at all this kind of cool stuff. And then we have some miscellaneous section right here. A little MCM kind of art. Sold a panel the other day that was sitting right here for 130 bucks. It's probably only $10 into that. And we got some glassware up here. A little window pane. Yeah, so this is the booth. You can kind of see it's on an aisle. And if you go down this way and that way, you're gonna find the cash register. So we're really close to the cash register. And the mall goes all the way down there. So my first booth at this antique mall was way in the corner. It was the worst booth on earth. But now we are in the first third or quarter of the mall right here. So this is great. Gonna be doing the booth drop right now, and I like it a lot. Do I wish it was a corner spot? Of course, but those would cost a whole lot more right now, and they're just not available. So decided to pull the trigger on this, and hopefully in the comments you guys let me know what you think about this booth. There's just a lot of cool stuff, and you know, different than Austin Antique Mall, we actually have power, so we can like light up cool things like this, and we can light up cool things like that. So it's just neat. It's a fun booth, and it's actually been doing pretty decent. It has an interesting interior. It has a sales, how do I say, a sales manager interior. So it's not just a normal case inside. It actually has places for pens and all this neat stuff.
Partitioned off.
Yeah, that was somebody that was looking at the case that I just dropped off. Now, whether he's gonna buy it, that's a different story, but still, you know, there's foot traffic, which is good. And it's midday, which is even better. Yeah, this jacket wall is pretty cool. Unlike my other antique booth, we had everything crammed real tight, so I made a rule here that we're gonna do like a 2-inch spacing so people can really come in here and have an experience and try things on. When they cut a check, this section almost always has something that's sold out of it. So we're making sure not to clutter it all up. Same thing with all this down here. See how there's like some decent spacing with everything, and we still have room for other things. We're just trying to do it a lot smarter on this and give it the best shot it can get. That's the booth, and that's what it's looking like. I feel like the payment out of this booth is definitely ramping up, and it's not as good as the Austin Antique Mall, but we also have to work on pricing because a lot of the stuff is still priced with Austin Antique Mall prices. So I have to come in here, probably invest an hour or two of my time and retag a lot of things. But you know, at the end of the day, it is kind of like a semi-passive income thing. You know, like we only come here about once a week, and usually when we come here, it's only 5 minutes or 10 minutes. We just shift some things around, we do a drop, and then we're gone. So it's not a huge amount of time outlay if you get it decorated in a certain way, you know? So pretty cool. That mirror was so, this mirror sold for like $360. Well, our check cut out, it's on layaway, it's still sitting here, but we are 50 bucks into that thing. I think it was on a vlog where they put it on top of my 4Runner and everything. It's humongous. Yeah, that's how the booth is doing. I'll see you guys in the car. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video about the booth, and quite honestly, I looked at revenue. It's doing about mid-revenue of what the Austin Antique Mall was doing. But it's also been 2 months with the new booth, and I'm getting used to it. And like I said, I need to like reprice some things, and I think it's gonna work out very well. What'd you think of the booth? Let me know right here, and I would love to see comments down below. That's pretty much the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Take it easy. Goodbye.